What's up, everybody? It's the JAY man here. And we're doing something a little bit different. I'm hanging out with the lovely Charissa, and she brought over something I've never had before. And this is actually going to be the first wine review. Now, I've done wine coolers, but that's a whole separate subject. We're looking at the wine. We're going to be looking at the Stella Rosa green apple wine. And we're going to be getting into this. And she's kind of more the wine aficionado.
I just like wine better than beer.
I've had some wine, but I'm nowhere near an aficionado. And I know you've had some wine.
I just like wine.
You've had probably a lot more wine than I have. So I'm gonna let you take it away and tell us what you got as far as research and looking into what you know about it.
Okay, so on the Stella Rosa website, this is a description of the wine. It says Stella Rosa green apple is like the love you never knew was possible. No matter how many sips you have of this semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine, your palate will always be left smitten and yearning for more. Very poetic. Wow. Yeah, poetic. It is from Italy. It's imported by, I don't know how to say this, but Il Conte, maybe? ILCONTE. It is $9.47 at the local liquor store.
Well, that's hitting the bank a little bit.
Yeah.
That's hitting the old pocketbook there.
Okay, so it has won some awards. I don't know what these are, but I will pass them on. Double gold at WSWA Wine Tasting Competition. I suspect those are 2 different years. Gold and silver medals at the Los Angeles International Wine Competition. Again, I suspect those are different years. 2 silver medals and a Best Buy at tastings.com, the Beverage Tasting Institute. So
people like it.
Yes, actually, yes.
You gotta like it. You gotta like it to be winning those awards.
Actually, it has 4.8 stars based on 92 total wine reviews, with reviews such as Best Wine Ever, Awesome Sauce, and an anonymous review titled Giving a Woman Some Wine Can Go a Long Way. I like that review.
It probably can.
The flavor profile is crisp green apple. Food pairing recommendations are Havarti cheese with green apple, which we have in front of us. So let's go ahead and try it now.
Oh, look at that. It's getting fancy over here. Fancy pants. So I guess you want me to get it poured up?
Let's go for it.
All right, we're going to check it out.
I have not tried this. I've had other green apple wines that I really loved, but
so
they were homemade or from a winery.
Gotcha. So you haven't had this particular one.
I have never had it. I don't know how it compares. No idea. Thank you.
Is that a good amount?
That is, sure.
Want to give a generous amount? I can smell the green apple, even from a distance.
Oh.
It's very prominent.
Well, okay.
It is there. It is
ready?
Definitely there. Don't they like to swirl it around? Don't they like to swirl it? Let it breathe. Don't they hold it like that?
Oh.
Let it breathe. I'm going to spill it all over me if I do that. All right, so here. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're trying it for the first time, both of us. Stella Rosa green apple. Here we go.
Oh, that's tasty. It's
That
a tasty dessert wine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what's
It's not too sweet because it's got that green apple kind of Okay.
Because you know what's weird? It hit me sweet. It hit me kind of hard sweet on the front end, but then it lightened up on the back end.
Got a little bit of that sourness. I think maybe I said on a 1 to 10 dry to sweet scale, it ranks a 6.
Okay.
So.
And then what are we supposed to do? Put a.
So I'm gonna put them together, apple and Havarti. So we can give it a try. You can do it separate. I don't know if this is gonna be any good.
That's that fancy pants cheese.
Oh yeah.
That's what all the rich folks be eating on, ain't it?
Okay. I'm gonna take a drink of it.
That is awkwardly good together. I would never thought. I would have never thought. I guess all them people, when they talk about cheese and all that with wine, they weren't kidding around.
It really does matter what you eat with it. So this is the pairing that was recommended on Stella Rosa's website for this particular wine, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it really is. I wouldn't have thought that either.
Granny Smith apples. It said green apples, so that's what I went for.
That is wild.
Mm-hmm. So the Total Wine store near me had it on back order. I guess it's a really popular wine. So I had to go the next town over to Arlington.
So they're buying it up.
Yes. And
Really?
Actually there were just a couple left at the store in Arlington that I went to. I was in a car with no AC during rush hour because I'm stupid.
You were going to get it. Hell or high water. You was going to get it.
So I met this woman in the aisle. I was stopped and I was looking at the bottle, and she stopped. She had this big. Obviously, she knew what she was talking about because she had a big basket. That's my assumption.
I'm already going in for a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's good. It's tasty. And you know what I noticed about it? It's drinkable to the point to where you'd be drinking it fast.
Well, and it's supposed to have a really low ABV. I didn't actually.
5%. That is pretty low for most, because I've seen wines go anywhere like in the teens.
Yeah. So it's.
You know.
Yeah.
That is pretty low for a wine.
Yeah. This woman, okay, so the woman was, she was going past me, and she goes, "That is my favorite wine!" Like, super enthusiastic. Like,
You're getting excited.
She was excited, and yes, she was definitely excited. She's like, "You can't go wrong with any of these. They are all so good." I guess green apple is just a more popular one of all of them, but you said that you tried the blackberry.
The blueberry.
Blueberry.
I've had the blueberry, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was also sweet, and it was very tasty.
Yeah, maybe a little on the sweeter side.
It almost, but the blueberry seems more carbonated. It kind of had that kind of carbonation. Like where if you drank too much, you might get bloated. You know? I just remember it tasting kind of carbonated, it kind of reminded me of like a thick kind of, like you know how grape soda is, but blueberry. So it was good. I liked it.
Sounds good. I bet that there's a pairing, a food pairing with that would have really brought it out.
Brought it out. Because the food sometimes is what brings out the flavor in the wine.
Yes, they have a red apple wine, and the food pairing for that was supposed to be an apple fritter. But I didn't know where to get an apple fritter, and
Can't say as I've ever even had an apple fritter.
you gotta do what the website says.
So that would have been a whole new experience on me just altogether. So yeah, so it's popular. Won awards, and man.
Yeah, we'll have to try some different ones. It's good.
I like that. And you know, like what I told you before, I tend to go for the sweeter wines as opposed to like your, you know, like the red wines. It goes for white wine too. Like the white wines or the red wines, sometimes I just can't figure out the taste. You know? And the white wines to me sometimes seem like they're dry.
Yes.
They've got a kind of like a real.
I tend to not like. I don't like Pinot Grigio and things like that because they are too dry for me. I would
They're
much
very
rather
dry.
have even Merlot, which is on the kind of pretty dry, but it's red wine.
Yeah. Because I've had several different red wines, and you know, you take that first drink and you just kind of do that number.
I think you have to
You
have.
know that.
I think you have to have it with the right thing.
Okay.
Really, like if you have it with the right food, then even something you don't really like, it'll bring out the flavor of the food.
See, and I've always heard people say that you know, wine, you know, they pair it with food.
Yeah.
Especially with a lot of Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and I've always kind of put wine drinking and kind of eating in two separate categories, not to be mixed. But I guess there's something to it.
In my family, we come from the European. Well, we used to live in Europe.
Right.
So the European tradition of wine with your meal, and my mom.
That was just kind of the way, like kind of kind of just the way it was.
Yeah, there was a doctor who told my mom that she would do better if she had a glass of wine with her meal every night, and so she has stuck to that.
All the way to the
She hasn't asked any other doctor. That's the way it's gonna be.
It's like, he was right. He was right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So if we were going to say rate this, like on like say we're doing the same thing I do with beer, like 5 stars. Out of all the wine you've had to date, you know, 0 being the worst, 5 being the best. Why are you looking like that? You're already looking like you're critically thinking already.
Well, okay.
Just on a wine scale, and
so here's the deal. I would say as a dessert wine, I would give it a 5.
Okay. So you got to kind of put it in different categories as to where what your plans are with it.
Yeah, because dessert wine. Yeah, because I would never drink this with a meal. You know, this would have to be with something like a snack or a dessert or something.
Okay. So you put it pretty high.
Yes.
For dessert wine.
For a dessert wine, yes. I love it because it's got a little bit of the sparkle. It's not super, super sweet. It's interesting, I think, to the palate.
It is. I'm on my 3rd glass. So I'm
not. I need to get another glass.
I'm not hating it.
Yeah.
I'm not hating it.
Right.
I wouldn't be coming back for more.
Yeah, it's
I,
good,
I
right?
want to say, and I know that I had my experience with wine is nowhere near yours. I mean,
It's not like when I knew the expansive.
I've had like 10, like maybe 10, maybe a dozen at the most wine, probably. And I'm going to say just based off of what I've had in the past up until now, I definitely throw it 4 out of 5. And the reason why I'm going to throw 4 out of 5 is because remember I told you I love that Lambrusco so much.
It is really good. It is really good.
That tastiness. But yeah, this is definitely something that I would drink for sure.
Yeah. This is like, that's why I was making a difference between this is a dessert wine versus Lambrusco, which I would drink with anything pretty much.
Yeah.
It's if you haven't had Lambrusco, it's really good.
It is.
Maybe not for like the.
And I also feel like what I like about the Lambrusco too is I feel like the carbonation content is like perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it. It hits you.
Yeah.
It hits you, and I know the ABV on it is a lot more than this.
Yeah, it is. Which is why you would need to drink it ideally with some food, I think.
Not just stand alone.
You can, but
just go
may
easy.
Not, yeah.
Go easy if you're not used to it.
I can handle a couple of glasses of Lambrusco on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And after that, I can get pretty relaxed.
I'm digging this. It's good. Like I said, 4 out of 5 for me, and that's a strong 4.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me to go say all the way because I know that I've because besides this, the Stella Rosa blueberry and the Lambrusco, I'd probably put those maybe a little bit above this. So 4 out of 5. And but see, I tend to go for more sweet wines, where I know a lot of people go for more
dry.
Yeah.
I'm not fancy, so I don't especially like dry.
I just don't have the palate for the dry or the
unless you eat it with the right thing.
Yeah, because I've had several different red wines, and into those I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing that number while I'm drinking it.
Yeah.
So
that's so funny because that's how I react to beer. I think I've only ever had one wine that I was like, that's undrinkable. And my mother agreed with me, so it wasn't just me.
The feeling was mutual.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm digging it. 4 out of 5 for me. 5 out of 5 for you. You said as a dessert.
As a dessert wine.
All right. Well, is there anything else we need to touch upon for that? Or do you think that's going to conclude the review of the Stella Rosa Green Apple?
I think that was everything I had notated.
I had nothing. She did all the research for this one.
It was so hard. I had to look at 2 different websites.
But luckily we can always trust the internet. So,
that's right. Well,
so So for the first time in 6 or 7 years, I got off easy with not having to do any research at all.
They'll just have to take my word for it.
All right, so I guess we're out. We're gonna call this a wrap.
Yep.
We're gonna conclude. All right, everybody, have a most excellent Friday evening. Cheers to everybody out there that's drinking on the wine, drinking on the beer, drinking on whatever you love. Cheers. Peace out.
Bye.